Alexa, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Now that the new year has finally begun, I'm sharing inspiring stories of hope and encouragement.
Okay.
Her youth was spent training to be an Olympic figure skater, only to find she wasn't good enough to make the team. So she worked in fashion, as an editor at Vogue. At the age of 40, she became a designer, including costumes for Olympic figure skaters. And that person is Vera Wang.
Woo!
For more, just...
Today, the hedonic treadmill of the film Babylon on Cinema Unites the World. Thank you so much for stopping by. Here we go. So Babylon, it's bombing. It's not doing well. It's got mixed reviews. And here's how I'm going to roll from now on. And this picture was the first in this regard for me. And that is when reviews are mixed and polarized for a picture, I'm going to make up my own mind, and I have no regrets here. I don't know that I will ever see this picture ever again, but I have no regrets, and I'm very, very glad I saw it. Especially in a theater on the big screen with an audience. There weren't many of us there on that Friday evening at the Culver Theater in Culver City, but it was enough. See that behind me? Why do I have it? For the same reason I didn't always like, but I loved this picture. There are a few pictures that I admire and love, but never want to see ever again. And why is that? I think it's for me to figure out and then share with you once I do. Hi, Chewbacca, he's right below me. But I do know that cinema can be healing, educational, entertaining, and challenging. Like, say, a film called Requiem for a Dream by Darren Aronofsky. It's a brilliant film that I would never want to see again. 22 years ago, saw it at film school once was enough. I don't regret seeing it. I'm glad I did, period. 2 thumbs up. I was very lucky. Again, I saw it at the American Film Institute in 2001 when I was a student there. And Darren Aronofsky, his DP, Matty Libatique, and a few others, members of the crew, came and gave us a great talk after the screening. And Darren could not have been more of a gentleman, an impressive gentleman, very positive and outgoing. And I'm really happy to see him successful because I certainly like it when the good guys win. But during the Q&A, some heckler snuck in and started heckling him. And it was along the lines of what gives you the right to make a movie about addiction? Who do you think you are? Blah, 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 blah. Just a complete jerk. And I don't remember, if anyone is watching this that was there that night, maybe you have details to fill in. But you know the old saying, you don't remember a thing that somebody said, but you'll never forget how they made you feel. And Darren Aronofsky handled that heckler idiot with complete grace and poise and positivity. He didn't get rattled. He was a complete gentleman. So well done, sir. And back to Babylon. Having seen it, I see that people don't like it. It's 3 hours long. It's very explicit. It kinda has a happy ending. Not really. It has been accused of taking as a source a book called Hollywood Babylon, and it got largely debunked, and maybe it was the lawyers. But I have no difficulty believing what I saw that night regarding about Hollywood debauchery, or debauchery anywhere for that matter. The Eyes Wide Shut Illuminati stuff. Yeah, I am officially a conspiracy theorist now. And I don't take it as an insult anymore. So go ahead and call me one. I agree. And yet, in spite of the hypocrisy of our business, in spite of the hedonism that goes on and hides under the shadows, and it gives us little hints on the surface of the films we see sometimes, in spite of the complete nonsense and, yes, Chewie, yeah, I'm just scratching myself, complete nonsense and evil of creative accounting and on and on and on, we still love the movies and always will. And that is the message I got from the excellent nod to Cinema Paradiso in the end. We love the movies, no matter what. Period. Right, Chew? Yeah, Daddy, yeah. Another scene I loved is a certain character is a movie star. Brad Pitt is told that he's done and that's that. You were a great movie star, but now it's over. I don't think it's over for you, Brad Pitt, not at all, but don't get me wrong. Anyway, the character. He had a great run, but he's going to be replaced, just as the character played by Jean Smart is telling him that she will be replaced too. So what's the lesson? For God's sake, be happy with what you got, with when you got it, and nothing lasts forever, good times or bad. Nothing lasts forever. Good. Weird noises from my Wookiee. Nothing lasts forever, good times or bad. Does this sound familiar? Yeah, that, and everyone eventually gets dumped on. Woo! Anyway, good way to start the picture. This film reminded me of the term hedonic. Okay, Chewie. You want to go? Be right back. This picture certainly reminded me of a term I've heard lately called hedonic treadmill. Hedonism, the thrill of the high that you get from that will eventually wear off and you just keep chasing it. And that's what hedonism truly is. It's a treadmill. You keep chasing this high. You keep chasing this demon's tail, not realizing that the tail is attached to you and only you can cut it off. And many people don't ever get that chance to cut the tail off like the characters in this picture. I'm not telling you what to do. That would go against my moral code. Take it or leave it. I think that's what Damien Chazelle is trying to show us. And yet, in spite of that, we love the movies. I'm of the opinion that if you're doing copious amounts of booger sugar and throwing up on a guy at a party, you're probably not going through life correctly by any objective standard. But how do we tell them? Well, we can't, and they have to figure it out on their own, and I hope they do. And we love the movies. I'm really glad I saw this picture. I'm glad I saw this picture in a theater with an audience. There weren't many of us there, but we all laughed, we all cried, we all screamed. It was an experience. And that hot box scene. When you see the picture, you'll know what I mean, and it's brilliant. I'll never forget it. We were on that ride with Margot Robbie and the other characters. And also, I think a lot of people, most of us, have a deep pain of some kind. And one of mine, certainly one of my few, is my parents getting divorced. I was 11. I liked movies before then. I was very interested in them, but then my father took me to see Lawrence of Arabia in 70 millimeter in a beautiful, brand new print at the Senator Theater in Baltimore, Maryland, in, I believe, January of 1989. And there is where I found my refuge from the pain. I found the art that I will dedicate the rest of my life to, in spite of any setbacks, of any failure, without any expectations, just the effort to try. Only to find the courage within myself to keep going and going and going and going and going. And I hope you do the exact same thing. It's magic to watch a film with an audience on a big screen with crystal clear sound and no one talking or texting or being rude. A true and beautiful collective experience that is the greatest in the world. It's the greatest in the world to have the air go out of the room during my very first screening of Disney Pixar's Up. I could feel it in the first 10 minutes to be there in May 1977, the first time Star Wars was screened, and the Star Destroyer comes flying over you with John Williams music in the background, to watch Rocky and not know in the end that Apollo won because of fever of Rocky. I got other examples from my movie-going life that I'll share later as they come, but when the stars align with a great film and a great audience and a great presentation of that film, it's magic. Absolute magic. Anyway. Okay, so that's all for now. I'm not cutting this out. I just said, is that all for now? That's all for now. And next week, I'm going to answer what I would do with $1 billion and how it relates to cinema. I'll save it for next week. Please go to jordanrockwell.com where I have news updates, blog updates, and anything else you want to do to follow my career. Go to instagram.com/cinema unites the world and give me a follow. Go to twitter.com/JERcinema. Follow me there. You can always email me at cinemaunitestheworld@gmail.com. Thank you so much for stopping by. Go watch some movies, and cinema unites the world.